I just wanted to get everybody time to go in here. I just figured I'd come in live, talk about some things, Why do people love to get in my comments and say things like there were no black people in America before um, Europeans brought them here? Europeans can't even prove that. Europeans can't even prove that. Go to slavevoyages.com and look at the embarking records and disembarking records, and it'll prove something to you. It'll prove that most of the black people who came here during the transatlantic slave trade came from Europe. Yes. So when you see the black Irish and all that, yeah, that's what they're talking about. People always want to be like, my ancestors came here from Ireland and they were slaves and they worked hard. Bro, your ancestors aren't even the original Irish. Look at Ireland's history and you'll figure out that the original Irish were being hated and discriminated against and kicked out of Ireland. And a lot of them ended up as indentured servants in America. A lot of them ended up going to Jamaica. That's a fact. Tens of thousands of Irish people were shipped to Jamaica. When you go to Jamaica, you don't see tens of thousands of white Irish people with red hair. You see black people who were supposed to be a slave population. You get what I'm saying? But they were sending indentured servants to where? Jamaica. But people don't want to hear that. People don't want the truth. People hate the truth. And because they hate the truth, you know, it's like that Bible verse says, who are you to take my covenant in your mouth because you hate being reproved? They don't want to be corrected. You know, when you correct people, they get offended. They can't handle correction. You see what I'm saying? America's full of a bunch of people who have colonized the land. And when we say colonize, they say, well, that doesn't affect you and slavery doesn't affect you. And how are you affected? I'm sorry, do you not understand the implications of what it means to colonize land? So when you colonize somebody's land, you don't just go there, uh, destroy them and leave. You go there, destroy them, keep the population you can't destroy subjugated, and you enjoy their land. That is what colonization is about. Now, how is America a giant colony that's colonized and the Native Americans are 2% of the population? How is that possible? How are you 2% of a population? Hi, how you doing? And then these same pretendians and these same Spaniards and these same Asians get in my comments and say anything. And that's what's really going on. You see, when they hop into your comments, it's always one-liners. Black people weren't here before Europeans brought them here. Well, why did Columbus say he ran to Ethiopian-like people in his book of prophecy? Why did he say he came here to conquer Jerusalem in that book and to retake the Holy Land? Right? He wrote. You see what I'm saying? They will misrepresent what Columbus actually said and tell you that he said he was lost and all this other stuff. But he wrote in his own writings, which is preserved in the Biblioteca Columbina. Sorry, it takes a while for me to be able to pronounce Spanish words. That he came here to do that thing, to capture, to vanquish the pagans, to enact the edicts of the Catholic Church. That's what Columbus came to America to do. So if you guys want to be in my comments saying that I don't know what I'm talking about and I should learn to read and all this other stuff, then maybe you guys should actually read the writings of your own ancestors, because I didn't write that American stood for copper colored races. All right, I didn't write that. Your ancestors wrote that. Noah Webster wrote that, and that was the gold standard of the English language at that time. You see, I've been in debates on Facebook and back and forth with them, trying to get them to see. I don't know why they're just like anything they could say to make sure you're not indigenous. Anything they could say. You tell them about the Racial Classification Act and how they during the Jim Crow era they were relabeling all indigenous people as colored, right? So they would call you colored. So if you're colored, right, what does that mean? That means you're an indigenous person of North America, see? But we went through a bunch of relabelings. First, we were Indians. That's what Columbus called us when he showed up here, right? Then we were people of color. Then we were Negroes, and now we're African Americans, which was coined by Jesse Jackson, okay? Which is a modern recent term. Before then, they were calling us what? The American Negro. They didn't call you the African American Negro. You get what I'm saying? Because they knew what they find. There's aboriginals on every continent. There is black people on every continent. Then they came to your holy sacred land and they desecrated it, and now they don't want to talk about it. And now when you bring it up to them, what do they say? That was so long ago. That doesn't affect you. And I had to go over this again. If you guys are colonists and you're colonizers, you are occupying our land. So we are going through an occupation. And when you occupy someone's land, you come in, you got to tell them who they are. You got to force them to be educated in your education systems, and you have to subjugate them. And what do you find? Who's the people subjugated in America? Us. Who's the ones living in the ghettos? Us. Y'all know ghettos was a ghetto is a scientific creation. That's why Hitler did that to the so-called Jews, but he learned it from America. He learned it from America. Yeah, they don't want to talk about the history of eugenics in America and forced sterilization and whole genocides and massacres of people. They don't like to talk about that stuff. But now that we're reaching the end of this nation, now all these things have to be brought to light. And if y'all keep trying to deny and suppress them, then these storms will get worse and worse and worse. Because ultimately, the Most High is going to make y'all come and say, just like it's written in the Bible, for sure our fathers have inherited lies and things that there are no prophets in. Because it says right there, in the day of distress, the Gentiles shall come before you from the ends of the earth and say, our fathers have inherited lies. And if your fathers inherited lies, then that means everything's a lie. But people can't handle that. See, the truth is ugly. But, for us, it's beautiful now. Back when they used the Bible to enslave us and they were talking about, well, God said, that he was going to hand us over into your hands, this and that. You see, that was the ugly part. We didn't even want to read the Bible back then because we knew what was up. Now it's their turn, because after we served them, they get put in the position we were. And that's how God works. You see, their Jesus and their God is unjust. Their Jesus says everything is forgiven. There's no justice. And I was listening to Mordiel's channel. And if any of y'all watch his channel, he was looking through King James Bible online, and they're talking about how there's no justice in the New Testament. And of course, we know they changed the New Testament to say the blood of Christ forgives everybody. And well, that's so. Doesn't the Christian think that's so unfair? All you gotta do is say Christ and believe in Him, and then you could just do whatever you want. Then you gold. Do whatever you want. God protects that, and that's what they did as Christians. That's what the Catholic Church was teaching the Christians at that time, because they ran a Christian religion. It was mainly the Catholic Church before Protestants, before all that, and they taught them shit. They taught that shit everywhere. And then what they do? They say, well, you can kill them. Oh, you can enslave them. Oh, they're 4/5 of a man. Oh, they're Hamites. They're supposed to be servants. God said that, and they still be trying to call us Hamites now. They don't even know where Ham's land is. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They don't know where their land is. They don't even know who they are. They're like, I'm British, I'm Irish, I'm this and that. No, you guys are from the Caucasus region, all of y'all, too. What about the invasions of Europe? What about the wild men invasions and fighting for the crown? What about all that history of the Moors being in Europe first? What about that? What about kicking the Jews out of London? You get what I'm saying? So when they kicked those Jews out of London, where were they going? They were going to Africa. They were going to North America as indentured servants. Okay? Yeah, they all told lies, bro. Everything is a lie. And if you guys start to peep the lies, then they start calling you all kinds of things like, you're an anti-Semite. Like, you're this, you're that. And then, like, just like the Bible says, then they start accusing us of the things they're guilty of. Anti-Semitism, y'all guilty of that. You supposed Jews are guilty of that. We're the Semites. That's your racism right there. That's your anti-Semitism. See, but people can't put two and two together. If Jews are black, racism is anti-Semitism. So how could you call me an anti-Semite? See what I'm saying? But whatever they gotta say to have their argument and to not have to deal with that ugly history they don't want to talk about. Let's talk about how Jews were the number one among the main slave-owning group in America. Those supposed people calling themselves Israelites. Let's talk about how all their ancestors made a pilgrimage to the Americas. See, but when we start getting into that, they can't handle it. They cannot handle it. And then they start, what if this and what's it that? I was arguing with somebody at my job because he believes himself to be an intellectual and he likes to debate. and we're debating over this shit. So I'm like, bro, how, your own ancestors' writings undermine what you're saying now. Just like all that love and Christian crap undermines what they did to get America and get this land. Y'all didn't love us to death. Y'all murdered us and oppressed us. That's how y'all roll. That's how y'all been rolling. Y'all don't care about what's right. Y'all can't care about what's right. America is built on lies, bro. I just wanted to let people know how that's going. I'm gonna pass through this lobby real quick and go back to the room. So I'm gonna just be quiet for a minute. Hello. Yeah, they did came as children, working orphans, all that, but they were also cloning people, bro. Bro, like the technology they got when they came here was advanced technology. Now, the reason why you see some of our ancestors walking around in loincloths and stuff like that is because if you read the Book of Mormon, it really goes over a history of North America that's hidden. There's the Sealed Book of Mormon, you got to read that too. The Lamanites, who were the dark-skinned individuals, the tribes of Joseph and Manasseh left on the land, had split into two divisions, and the Nephites. And that's what they show you when they're showing you the like those last Mohicans and all that. That's what they're showing you, the beefing between the Lamanites and the Nephites, right? The Lamanites destroyed the Nephites, right? Some of the Lamanites preferred to live in the woods and live according to nature, and other ones went into cities and wanted to live industrially. And that's revealed in the sealed portion of the Book of Mormon. Yeah, you gotta read everything, man, because these people, they really have no knowledge. We got, like, our IQ is on a billion and theirs is on 3. You know, they're just like, well, if I go read a dictionary and it says that Moor meant Arab, so it's not talking about you. I gotta actually go and get a dictionary from that time period that shows you Moor was talking about Ethiopian type people. So Mormon is the same thing. So we're the real Mormons, and Mormon was named after one prophet, the prophet who, you know, grabbed his family and left Jerusalem before it was destroyed. The island they ended up on is Hawaii. They even got a replica of the Temple of Solomon in Hawaii. They claim like Joseph Smith Jr. or some shit ordered them to build that, but it's made out of crushed lava rock, natural materials from the island, right, and coal wood. So when you think about it, you start to read the Book of Mormon, it's talking about like, oh, and we got to the land of promise and we built a temple that was in the manner of the Temple of Solomon, except it wasn't built on so many precious things because they were not available on the island. Then they in Lehi, Hawaii, which is Lehi, it's right there. Because Lehi and Lehi are the same things. That's why you see those Hawaiians attacking. I think it was Captain Kirk or something. As soon as they attacked him on site, and they're black people in the historic depictions of it. They're black people. So why would they just attack him on site? And Europeans be like, oh, that means you were savages. No, bro, y'all had just colonized the whole mainland and niggas knew. So it was on site. There's still places where if a black person sees a white person show up in the land, it's on site. They just kill him on site because they already know the history's done up. They know what y'all are on. Y'all show up, y'all act all friendly, so you get a little bit of power, and then y'all take over. And then when people come to express their grievance with you, as long as it's people that you agree with or are part of the 83, the Psalms 83 conglomerate, they'll pay them grievances. They'll always restitute them. But us never, never. And that's why you know, because they really just want the whole world to go to hell. Because the Most High says, if you curse Israel, you will be cursed. And if you bless Israel, you will be blessed. And they spent their whole time on our land cursing us. They still do it to this day. They go, you're lazy. You don't work hard enough. Oh, well, my parents had to come here and work, and we came here, and there was no... Shut the hell up. You guys came to a country where you could purchase people as slaves. So you're not about to tell me that if you could make somebody work for you, you wouldn't do it. Or they just work themselves. Right now, they do that. How many people are being managed by a white guy who does nothing and comes and tells you how to do your job that he doesn't do? How many of our people are being managed by a white guy? He can't do the job. You can. But he get paid more than you to keep you working. That's exactly the taskmasters of Egypt. See, they don't want to do their jobs. You can see it. Like they always want to portray themselves as these upright, pious people. But when you really boil it down, your corporations were set up like plantations. And I was arguing with my boss today. I said anybody who starts a business employs people and those people do the work and you make the majority of the money, you're evil. That's evilness. That's evilness. What did God say? He commanded all of us to work by the sweat of our own brow, not by the sweat of your brother's brow. But this capitalism got people brainwashed. If you are doing the work, like for instance, I work at a company where people do like let's just call them units. And for every unit of labor you do is worth like $500 to the company. But they're paying you hourly. You see what I'm saying? So I might do 20 units of labor. I'm only gonna get $20 on every hour I was there. You see what I mean? But then they try to tell you, well, you get paid so you're not a slave. Nigga, if you do work, if you build a house, you should live in it. Right? If you service utilities, you should have access to them. If you sell the hamburgers at the Wawa and make them, or the McDonald's and make them and sell them, then you should profit off it morally because you're physically doing it. And the people sitting behind the desk pushing buttons, telling you how to work and how much to work and how much your work is worth, don't want to do the work. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not the people who build society. They're why society sucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna clock you in. Yeah, I'll clock you in. Don't come on my live and say nothing crazy. I'm sorry. I gotta figure out how to do that. I think I know how. No, I started a poll. Go over here. Nope. Why am I working? Because if I don't work, I'm gonna die. Bro, that is the mark of the beast they set up. And here's what I've always said. I'm trying to bring people on. Here's what I always said. Working is nothing more than slavery. And that's what it always I mean, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to bring people. I accidentally deleted your message, my boy. Yeah, because all that work and shit is pointless, bro. They're trying to convert your labor into. The truth is, the Most High is a communist, and he's not a communist dictator like they showed these examples of what the Most High is about. Like America has been going around setting up communist dictators to demonize the way God wants us to live. God does not want people to monetize the resources. If you don't make land, what? You're out your mind for thinking you can charge anybody for land here. And if you think you own land here, you're definitely out your mind. I know that's gonna offend a lot of people. I tell them everything you work for, you don't own, but you did kind of steal the land of the Most High, and He is kind of pissed about that. Okay, that's why He's destroying y'all with natural disasters. You think it's all a coincidence? All these natural disasters keep happening. Spain was instrumental in colonizing the America and genociding the Americas. What's going on in Spain right now? Yeah, you are selling your time and happiness, and that, bro, and it don't profit you nothing, bro. If you're doing the labor, you should do the, you should benefit. Period. These these selfish ass people, and it's mainly white people and black people who imitated what they've done, because really, black people lived in communes when they came here. The Native Americans lived in communes. We were all living in a commune, and it wasn't like a communist dictatorship. That's what y'all do when y'all try to imitate us. Y'all just set up a dictatorship and steal all the money. The Native Americans actually lived according to the ways of the Most High. And y'all can't manage that because y'all not godly people. If y'all was godly people, y'all would have no problem returning our land. Y'all would have no problem fixing the problems your ancestors created, but y'all won't and y'all can't. And if y'all would, the Bible would read differently because God would have wrote it in there. Oh, the Gentiles repent at the end of time. It doesn't say that. That's not what the prophets prophesy. It prophesies that a great destruction comes upon y'all for y'all pride. Yeah, we're gonna be the head of society again, and once we're the head of society, I'm saying like, wait, bro, I'm gonna be like this, bro. Whatever y'all did, that's what's happening to y'all. That's what's fair. So I hope, because a lot of y'all have came to this earth multiple times in different bodies, and your spirit don't die and it don't go away, and you're not burning in hell for eternity, bro. You the whole burning in hell thing that people talk about is when you realize. All right, let me put it like this. I usually try to talk about stuff I can only prove, but I know this is true, but there's no way for me to prove it other than death. And then I wouldn't be able to come back and tell y'all. But I know this is true. You have a choice about who you are when you come into this world. You have a choice about what body you can go into when you come into this world. You have a choice about all these things. These are many of the plain and precious things that were removed from the Bible that the Book of Mormon talks about. Okay? God gave everybody choices. For a certain time, because of the wickedness of white people, yes, it really, really. Everything, God is about choice, bro. He's about free will and love, and also he will take revenge for his people. It's not all love with God, bro. He knows when people won't repent, and he always waits for them to repent to judge them. That's why they had so much time to do this to us, where God didn't do anything, because God makes multiple considerations. But just like he gave everybody choices, you can choose to be a female. You can choose to be a male. Most people that come here and are gay people were people who should have chose to be a female, but when they were told, like, based on your spirit and your type, you should probably take a female body, they were like, no, I want to be a man. I'm gonna go down there and see this. A lot of these people in the spirit world come here and observe what goes on in this earth. This is a testing field. You're allowed to learn in that world. You're allowed to see things in that world. You're allowed to see things in this world. And you can know when the spirit is next to you or came next to you. Like, let's say you're in a room with no air, or with no draft going through, a closed up room, not no air. A spirit, I felt this too. One, when spirits pass by, they displace air. Okay? So it's really deep. It's really, really deep. When you leave your body, you displace the air coming out of it. Your spirit. That's the only thing that can be proven. And they know this. They just haven't put this information out because they don't want you to really understand self. Because you're not what you see on the outside. Certain people chose to come here and be white people. All of y'all did. Y'all chose to be that because it was, y'all know y'all would have an easier existence. But certain people in the spirit world also chose to follow who? Satan. Right? All those so-called angels that fell with Satan. And we know the Book of Mormon clearly says that Jesus and Yahweh Shai and Satan are both sons of God. And his one son is in a rebellion against him. You understand? You know how your children rebel against you? Bam. Bam, in a rebellion. So a lot of this stuff is taken out of context with the Christian church because they don't want you to understand this. And when the Mormons stole our records and made their religion about it, they put a little bit of this in there, but they still took out others. Like, they were teaching that people with black skin were the people that served Satan. And they got cartoons about this. The Mormons got cartoons about this. I know, like, the Mormons can't even say nothing to me. They're y'all a bunch of scumbags, people. Bro, all the Christian religions were involved in it. But why? It's because you are the children of Christ, bro. And like I said, everything's about choice. They chose to be white. They chose all that stuff. They chose to do what's easier. And that's why they don't know nothing now, because they made covenants. They made covenants in past lives. They made covenants in this life. They made covenants to not know nothing, to see no evil, to speak no evil, to hear no evil, while all the evil is going on around them. They'll turn a blind eye to it. I can't show you how many people, not all of them do this though. I've shown the Bonaparte murals too, and they'll be like, they don't look like Africans. Clearly, they look like Africans. Clearly, they got dreadlocks. Clearly, you can clearly see that they're black people. But again, God really won't let them see the truth because they might repent and be spared. But some people he wants to get it cracking with. You get what I'm saying? Like, the Most High he's too powerful to beef over small matters. And he only destroys nations when they become the most powerful nation on the earth. The Egyptians became the most powerful nation on the earth. God destroyed them and the pharaohs. The Babylonians became the most powerful nation on the earth. God destroyed them and their leaders. Okay? And that pattern's been repeated throughout multiple biblical texts and the Apocrypha. And all throughout it, it was like, yo, you're oppressing my people. Because we're in all nations. Duh. Duh. Oh, duh. People don't get that. We're in all nations. That's why when you go to Australia, you see black people. You go to Africa, you see black people. You go to Asia, you can find an indigenous black group there too. And you go to China and look at the murals in Shanghai and in the murals they got of the Shaolin. They're black people. Yeah. Yep. Go look it up. The murals on the temple walls there are black people. Because what he said, I'm gonna set you up as priests and prophets above the nations to represent who? Me. And when we misrepresented him, he judged us. But now you guys have taken that covenant in your mouths and you have misrepresented him. And now it's time for you to be judged for your misrepresentation of Christ. Because he didn't justify no damn slavery. The book only prophesied that that's what y'all would do because that's what y'all wanted to do anyway. So, of course, they used that as justification. Like, the Most High handed us over to you. You're ours. We can do what we want. You're a Hamite. Yeah. And then they took that out of context, too, because even Ham was only cursed to serve his brother. It didn't say all his generations. But when God curses people throughout their generations, he makes it clearly known that you have a generational curse on you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Abraham cursed him. You know what I mean? Not Abraham. I think it was Isaac. I'm a little confused here about that one. I gotta read up on that. But his father cursed him. Yeah. Yep. His father cursed him. But they just use any. Well, get out of here if I'm rambling and making no points, bro. Get out of here. No, I don't call myself African American. If you don't want to listen, get out of here. Not everyone's live is completely perfect, bro. That's why I usually don't do live, because when you put together information, it's way easier to do it. To like actually sit down, write everything out, get all your ideas together, and then present it. When I do lives, I'm just going at the top of the head. What do y'all want me to do? You want me to be out here with 20 books open, trying to read through them? Hell no. Go to Big Judas channel. That's what he does. I can't do that. I'm not good at presenting information live. I just come on here to talk my shit. Okay? So get out of here. People be watching fish tanks on their lives. Like, come on, bro. Making no points. I made my points. What is he talking about? You making no points. Here's the point, nigga. Respect us or get off our land. That's the point. That's the point. You know who's no points? All them politicians out there. Oh, vote for me. Vote for me. Let's go watch this. Oh, that's all what y'all. That's all y'all talk about. That's all that y'all talk about. Trump this and make America great. That's what y'all do, bro. That's what y'all just talk about that. Y'all think that it's okay to erase people's culture and live on their land and then not give a fuck later. That's what y'all do. We don't do that. We've never done that. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, well, African countries have problems. Well, of course African countries have problems. But you know the main problem African countries have? White European countries. And it's not because of their race, it's because y'all want to exploit Africa for its resources. And then y'all be like, well, the dictator. Y'all install those dictators. Anytime an African leader tries to stand up for his people, stand up for his nation, and use the resources that they have available to them to better themselves, he gets assassinated. And who do you think? I guess that's a black person paying for his assassination. Yeah, so they could enslave more black people. What's going on in the Congo? There's a genocide going on in the Congo right now. Nobody's talking about. But what's also in the Congo? Bro, I'm focused on nationality, not skin color. Bro, it just so happens that the nations that inhabited the world of Aboriginals were people that look like me. So when I talk about skin color, of course I'm talking about our people. We're not for skin color. Bro, genocide was not a government act. What all y'all colonists, all y'all Europeans participated in the genocide of North America. All of y'all did. All what do you how do y'all say that? Bro, y'all all came to the land. All them burnings and lynchings and hangings, that's part of the genocide. Yeah, the government that did a lot of genocide too. I'm not saying you did, but y'all all the lineage that did that. Like for instance, I've been saying the same thing to a guy at work. Bro, you can't be like, I'm not a part of this. That's a part of your history. You can't be like, I'll have nothing to do with that. Bro, you're everyone who came from Europe is occupying these lands right now. You get what I'm saying? Everyone is occupying our lands. When you colonize people, you don't just go there and kill them and leave. You go there, kill them, you kill who you can, you oppress the other ones, and you stay there and you steal their resources, you sell their resources to other nations, you do all that. That's exactly what's going on here. People are saying about that mine in South Carolina that got hit by Hurricane Helene. They're trying to say it's weather manipulation. No, it's not. It's judgment. Why would Europeans or white people? Why would the white U.S. government destroy a white town that was a sundown town and destroy the cobalt mine and shut everything? It shut it all down. Basically, that storm shut everything down up there. That's going to take years to recover from. That wasn't that was God. It wasn't a cobalt mine. It was lithium anyway. But that was God, bro. Y'all see, y'all want to come here and steal the precious resources of his land. Didn't it say y'all came here and took his gold and his silver, his precious things, and y'all took his children away? That's what it's talking about. It's talking about neo-colonialism. You know what I mean? America sells hella resources to other nations and it gives hella benefits to other nations. Why do you think that is? Dude, I know you're not for killing. Are y'all for giving us our land back? Are y'all for taking a portion of the land that was given to you? Because if y'all kept the treaties, if you pay attention to history, the the Europeans were never supposed to colonize outside of the 13 colonies. That was the land that our people and your people agreed on that you could have. They introduced this manifest destiny that said it's America's destiny to spread coast to coast, and that is a seriously biblical concept when you understand America is the Holy Land. I can't tell you exactly which tribe of Israel I'm from or what tribe you're from. No one can. And if they try to, they're liars. I can tell you that a lot of the Lamanites, according to the Book of Mormon, are the tribes of Joseph. I can tell you that, which were Manasseh and Ephraim. And those are the ones that were in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those guys that, because if I got out here and started doing all that stuff, I can get way more followers. I can just start making up stuff and telling people what tribe they're from, and I could just start lying to people. But listen, that's not biblical. What's biblical is that the Israelites are not going to know what tribe they're from. They're not going to know their language, and they're not going to know what land they were from right up until the end of time of the Gentiles. And what you're seeing take place in America, yeah, everybody, we know America's the bro. The land of the Bible is the land of corn, milk, and honey. When Pharaoh was talking about, or where the king of Babylon was talking about carrying the Israelites away, he was telling them, I'm going to take you to a land like yours, a land of corn and vineyards and wine and honey. You know what I mean? And that's this land, corn, vineyards, wine, honey. I've driven from the east coast to the west coast of this country. You'll see clearly that this is the land. But that's why when you look up federally owned land, most of the west coast is off limits. Most of everything west of the Mississippi is federally owned land because they don't want y'all over there near the mountains looking around. You might find something. They don't want y'all over there in the Grand Canyon looking around. You might find something. You might discredit their history. You see what I'm saying? And that's what this is all about. See, they don't want to have their history discredited because then a destruction comes. And that's what's happening now. See, y'all think it's a game, but every video we put out, this is all prophecy. We're completing and fulfilling prophecy. All right? We're raised up at this time and we're putting out the truth. And as this truth comes out, like I know for a fact a lot of people. I get the metrics on my channel. A lot of people in South Carolina be on here. A lot of them in the South be on here. They be laughing at me. They be trying to troll me. They be mainly white people. Black people love me. They love the channel. You know what I'm saying? Then what happened? God came and destroyed them. And I can confirm one guy who laughed at me himself, who's dead now. Dead. He died. He died. It was an RIP joint on his Facebook page. Cause I'm like that. I wanted to make a video about it, but I thought that'd be like too. That's just too much, you know. Uh, it's bad to speak bad about the dead, even if they did bad things. It's the dead, so I just left that alone. Fun the thing on the side, just like Lauren Hill said, y'all trying to front like y'all down with Mount Zion. Y'all on the side of Babylon. Y'all are on the side of Pharaohs. Y'all. Yes, I believe in Yeshua. I don't believe that he's God. I understand that he's our brother. Yeah, I know. Can you hear me now? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me or something. You can hear me? All right. All right. So this whole thing is going to come to an end. America has to judge. The world has to have this culmination of events. If you pay attention, every nation is being distressed before Yeshua returns, which, if correctly translated to English, it wouldn't be Jesus, it would be Joshua. You get what I'm saying? It would be Joshua. So when people say they're praying to Jesus, you're praying to Satan. You're praying to Christos. You're praying to... That's your Jesus. You're not even using his name, and you know you're not. People be like, "Oh, if you translate it to English, it's this and that." No, it's not. If you translate it to English, it's 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 Joshua. People put Yahshua because the J, the Y, and the U are all interchangeable, but they put a J there. So in English, just like Utah, right now is still under its correct name, Judah, Judah, the kingdom of Judah. Right? They put a J in front of it. It's Judah. Bam. Now you know. And I'm not like a guy that believes that the man who they're calling Christ is gonna come and save everything and restore everything and forgive everyone. Bro, it clearly says that think not that I've come to send peace on the earth, but I've come with a sword. Yeah, because like that's who's gonna that guy who the Christians worship is who's gonna persecute y'all for persecuting us. That's what's gonna happen. So when you see Christ come, he's gonna be a black man, just like the Bible describes it, because people can't handle that. But he's gonna be a black man with woolly hair and skin of bronze, as if it burned in a furnace, just like the Bible describes him. I don't understand how like people can, but that's how you know they actually don't read the Bible. Because if they actually read the Bible, they would know it clearly describes him as someone with woolly hair and skin of bronze. And not just any bronze, but bronze as if it burned in a furnace. So, like, that's what I mean when I say these people practice cognitive dissonance. They will read that in the Bible and still be like, Jesus is white. They'll be like, no, he was olive. He was olive. Well, let me ask you this. Olives are green or black? That's not even asking. Yeah, forged bronze in fire is yellow. But if you put it in the fire and burn it and take it out, it's going to be black. If I take my lighter and hold it to the side of this can and burn the side of this can, it's going to be black. And if y'all would read the Book of Mormon, you would know that it specifically says Christ is black to show the foolishness. When he gets back, the fact that he's black is going to show, if you read the seal portion, it's going to show the foolishness of all the Christian nations who worship the idol, because that's what y'all worship in, an idol. A bunch of people saw that the God of Israel was real and decided to go be with the real God of the earth, the God of heaven and earth. A lot of Egyptians were in the Exodus and abandon Pharaoh and choose to follow God. That's why in the Exodus, when Moses is saying like, all y'all stand, y'all enter into a covenant with God. And he made sure they all understood they were entering in a covenant with God at Mount Sinai. Bro, you gotta read the Book of Mormon, and you gotta read the sealed portion of the Book of Mormon. Of course, I've read the New Testament. Of course, a lot of the New Testament is manipulated. Like, like there is no justice in the New Testament. That's very true. There is no, like for instance, you get the Old Testament. It's always talking about how God's gonna bring justice and revenge, and then in the New Testament, it's all forgiveness. And the Catholic Church made sure they did that because they knew at the end of times they would have to hide all this information, and they were gonna get judged, and all the people who grouped onto them would be judged with them. And they wanted to keep people tithing and a part of the church, so they hid all that. And for a long time, it was the church's rule that you can't read the Bible for yourself. You get what I'm saying? So that's the Bibles I want to get. Of course, they're all in the archives and all these hidden places in America and the Vatican and all that. You know they gotta hide that stuff. They can't tell you the truth. If they tell you the truth, it's gonna be like the Boondocks. If you guys have never seen the Boondocks, and I know a lot of my black people have, I know we love the Boondocks. There's an episode where a character named Huey comes to this rich like country club meeting and tells them the truth about Jesus and a lot of other shit, and they start killing each other. Now listen, me telling them that would not cause them that. Just like Huey told when he really did tell them, because he was dreaming about telling them in that scene. When he really did tell them, they just was like and kept on with their lives. Me telling them that can't do nothing. It's when their leaders are forced to admit this, then they're gonna start killing each other and their families and their pastors and their police officers. Bro, they're going to start murdering people, bro. That's how it's going to be. And that's actually what's prophesied in the Bible, that God turns their own swords on them. Like a lot of judgments are pronounced against y'all. Like y'all manipulated us into fighting the wars against each other and then came out and took out both tribes. That's real. That's real. Now that's about to happen to y'all. I mean, there's an angel the most high sends to trick nations into fighting each other. Did y'all know that? Look it up. Look it up. How many times people went out against the Israelites? The angel of the Lord went out before the Israelites, and they were fighting each other by the time the Israelites showed up for battle. So we show up with 500 people. You got 50,000 people. They, for some reason, we show up. They're fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And then you still got a couple thousand people, and we slaughter the rest of them. That's what the Most High works like. He only chooses a small group so people can understand who he is and how he works. He doesn't need a big majority. That's what the Catholic Church wanted to do. They wanted to bring in a bunch of people and have this global religion and say everyone's included. Just like the Bible says, they invited everyone to the banquet because really, we're the Most High's bride. When those references to the bride and the bridegroom in the Bible, he's talking about Israel. He's talking about marrying his people. We're his bride, bro. I know that sounds a little weird, but these are allegories from the Bible. And there's a passage that says that these strangers went out and invited everyone, these imitators imitating the bridegroom, which is us, invited everybody to the banquet. And when God shows up, he's going to be like, hell no, I don't know you. I never knew you. I never knew you. No, you're a goat, not a sheep. I'm here for my sheep. And those people who love my sheep and my flock and want to be a part of my flock. And all of y'all, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go over there now. Hell no. It's going to be like, no, y'all wanted this cat. You wanted Catholicism. Y'all wanted white Christian nationalism. Y'all wanted all that. Stay over there. Don't come over here. Y'all go stay over there. That's what it's going to be like. He said, I can't tell other men you're not an Israelite. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what, bro? Are you a Native American? No. No. Did you know about the Bible? Or America was Egypt before y'all came across us black people putting that out? No. Y'all ain't know nothing about that. Y'all came across our shit putting it out. Now y'all trying to come in here and tell us, oh, I'm an Israelite too. Bro, y'all inherited lies, bro. Israel was black. And if you were an Israelite, you got to prove where your people were enslaved and sold throughout all the nations, because you're not an Israelite if you're not under the curses of Deuteronomy. You're just not. You're just a black person. Okay? Or you're just a white person. I'm not saying that no white people went under the curses of Deuteronomy. I'm saying when I say Show me where your people have gone through this, and I'll accept that. Y'all can't. You can't. I'm not saying that slavery didn't happen to other people, but the international slave trade exclusively included black people, who they called Africans. Bro, here's the proof. If you want to be a tribe of Israel, you have to fit under the curses of Deuteronomy. You can't just enjoy the blessings. Because if we just go by blessings, yes, the Most High put curses on his people when they disobeyed him. And he said this will happen until the end of time when I come to rescue you out of the trouble I brought upon you. Curses of Deuteronomy. And Deuteronomy, when Moses and them got together, right? They all made a covenant with the Most High, saying that before you go into this land that God has given you to possess, you must know that if you break these rules and laws, statutes, and commandments, then you will be subject to these judgments. All right? And they're called the curses of Deuteronomy. Look them up, my boy. If you fall under those curses of Deuteronomy, you very well may be an Israelite. If you have not fallen under those curses of Deuteronomy, you cannot be an Israelite. That's what I'm saying. So we're not going by skin color. I'm saying when I ask people who claim to be Israelites who aren't black to prove that they were a part of the international slave trade, they can't. The only way they can prove it because they weren't. You get what I'm saying? So when you guys show me that you are a part of the group that was sold into all nations, and that means that your people have to be in all nations. You can find African Americans in every nation. No matter what island of the sea you hit, like you can get a map and just hit a spot, and there's black people there. And about enough of them to be considered Israelites. I mean, not enough of them to be considered a population. And then you look up the history of the slave trade, the international slave trade. They were selling black people everywhere. That's why all nations are being judged at the end of times. If you read the Apocalypse of Abraham, and this is crucial, this is why they removed a lot of scriptures from the Bible. They consider it pseudo pictographical, if I'm saying that right. So pseudo means fake. They consider it fake scriptures. Now, this is by the Europeans who canonized the Bible. The Apocalypse of Abraham gets into it clearly. It says at the end of times, after the age, before the age of righteousness grows in that millennial kingdom everyone's talking about, a judgment has to come upon the lawless people who have mistreated Abraham's seed. And it goes into it deeply. And God showed Abraham that. And he told him, like, I'm going to give you this covenant, Abraham. But know this, thy seed shall be servants in a land that they know not, and they shall afflict them for 400 years, and after that I shall judge them. And then in the Apocalypse of Abraham is listed the 10 plagues the Most High said he was going to bring against the heathen, and it's all natural disaster related, it's all famine related, it's all sickness related, and it's all. But if y'all look at the colonization of the Americas and the American Holocaust, you'll see it's the same thing y'all did to us, because that's what God does. COVID-19, a lot of people died in that sickness. The government took their opportunity to kill more people in that sickness. They were even killing their political dissidents in that sickness. No one even knew that. I could share the information with you, but at this point it's pointless, you know? And besides, whenever I try to talk about C-19, I get my account taken down, so I can't talk about that kind of stuff. But yeah, they use that as an excuse to kill their political dissidents in the country. A lot of people you thought you were getting a little booster, and they boosted you right out of existence. Bro, this is all coming towards the end of time, bro. That's why they want to put nanobots in you and all this stuff, bro. Watch, y'all gonna figure out that they could cut off the aging process. Y'all gonna figure it out. They been stopped the aging process. Billionaires don't die. They got a society they go to when they're ready to stop being billionaires in this world. They go to a society that's highly advanced. That's what all this NASA's funding. That's what all these space and all this secret government money funds. And rich people take a part of it. They're a part of it. They all took deals. The world is fucked up because they want it to be. It doesn't have to be like this. And if you guys stop letting these people manipulate you into keeping them in power, this will go away. But just know that's not all going to be love. It's going to be violence. There has to be violence before there is peace and love and justice. Because any nation founded in wickedness. No, I don't believe in space, bro. Check out my channel. Go subscribe, bro. I don't believe in space. That's not real. Have y'all ever seen a picture of a satellite? Have y'all ever seen the pictures NASA takes of the Earth? They're all composite photos, and they admit that. Now, they say it's impossible to take a photo of the Earth, but if you can go to the moon, then you can take a photo of the Earth. If you look at space pictures, there's no stars in them. They make up elaborate excuses, but if you can see the stars from Earth, even in light polluted areas, you can still see the stars. There's no excuse you can't see them from space. Bro, yeah, there's a lot of information on my channel, bro. There's a lot of information on my channel. I usually don't do lives. I usually do informational videos. Like they're edited, they're edited, they're everything. So there's no stuttering. There's no me trying to collect my thoughts. I've already done that before I made the video. This is just like a lot of my followers like, and they keep requesting that I go live, even though I'm terrible at talking live. Like, and I'm terrible at withholding information that would get my video shut down. Like, I'm bad at that. It's like I'll forget to not talk about certain things, and I've pretty much learned what I can't openly talk about on YouTube. And a lot of platforms are like that. So if you guys want, when I'm done, putting a title and link to this video or whatever, I'll put the link to my Facebook in the description. I do lives on there. I have information I can't even talk about on here because they all have different platforms about what you could talk about. They all have different rules, Google is mainly owned by the same, BlackRock and all of them. They own controlling interest in Google. They own controlling interest in Facebook, and they have controlling interest in the pharmaceutical companies. So the pharmaceutical companies are a big part of this end time prophecy. I just can't explain to y'all how deep it goes without getting my channel shut down. Okay? They are putting nanotech in your body for a particular reason, and it's both nano robots and biological nanotech. And a lot of the people that took that nanotech thing they can't perceive none of the stuff I'm saying. And I've seen it so many times. They can't even, bro. It's because they are being their frequency is being abated. Okay? The solar rays that come from the sun, which is not a million miles away, carry light frequency energy particles. And these particles react with your DNA. Honestly, I'm not too scientific. It's really hard to explain. This is why I'd rather make a video about this. You get what I'm saying? Like a long video. Y'all ever read the Celestine prophecy? Go read the Celestine prophecy and you can understand what's going on now. And this was ancient Americans that predicted a time where the Earth's natural patterns would shift. And a lot of people worship the sun, but this is not about sun worship. If you study the sun cycles, they have profound effects on human emotion and the little antenna in your DNA that receives outside information. When it comes in, it unlocks it. Like I said, I didn't know I was an Israelite or nothing like that, and I didn't care about none of that stuff. I was a regular, average black person. I was trying to have sex. I was trying to do anything and just get paid and get money, and I was living like the beast, bro. 2017, that eclipse came. It changed my whole life, and I don't know how. But first, I completely had a breakdown, and I lost my fucking mind, bro. And it's because I thought I was happy trying to pay for all this stuff and trying to maintain all that stuff, and it brought me so much misery, and it brought me so much unhappiness, and I was living in my car trying to pay it off, and I'm like, well, I don't understand. Like, I'm looking at people balling. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, don't I work hard enough? I'm working 2 jobs. I'm doing Uber. I'm painting at this painting company. I'm doing this and that, and I could barely afford to pay my bills and pay off my car. And I was tired. When you go and paint and you lift paint buckets and you do that all day, you're tired, bro. You don't want to go do Uber after you gone. So I had broke down to tears, and I was crying in my car, bro. And I cried myself to sleep that night. Okay, I cried myself to sleep that night, and I wanted to die. I'm like, I don't want to live no more. And people don't understand that. You gotta want to die to understand that you want God, because then you understand that there's nothing in this world that can actually satisfy you. So after I wanted to die, all these revelations started coming to me. Like, voice, look this up, look that up. Oh, go look at that. Oh, go into this building and check out this emblem on the floor and stare at that for a minute. And I was doing all that stuff, and that's when the spirit came to me, bro. I had dreams about the shit. I had dreams about the shit. And that's when I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. That's why I wasn't satisfied. Because I was trying to live like one of them and they're all living like the beast. And I didn't understand why I couldn't make that work for me. But now I understand. I can't live like that. God won't permit it. If I wanted to live like that, I'm going to be unmiserable. I won't be unhappy unless I say fuck that and just make my happiness off of other people's misery. And that's what a lot that's the abomination. It's going to make your house full and my house empty. But I go in labor and you barely do anything. You manage people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when it talks about the abomination of desolation being set up in the holy place, the economy of the beast being set up here in America, and it made the whole world desolate, because then the whole world lusted after that. Not everybody was with currency and that kind of trade. People were still bartering. Some nations were living in communes. They didn't have these debt-based economies, and that's what this is. God is always right now. We are in a jubilee year. We're in the final jubilee year. If you guys don't want to let, and a lot of Europeans, I'm not gonna say all of y'all are gonna die. True, a lot of y'all are gonna die, just like the storms that went by and killed all them people in the hills. Yo, they're holding your messages, bro. Whoever I'm threatening Europeans. I don't threaten people. I don't have power over weather. The weather is killing y'all. The planet is turning against y'all. It's gonna be this year and the next year coming up, bro. The Most High promised to set us free and let us have our land back. And before we could have that, first we had to get knowledge. So I'm telling you, when that eclipse came, it changed my fucking life, bro. Like I was not, bro. I did not care. I mean, I've always been an intelligent person, but I used my intelligence to gain wealth or money, and I would even steal back then, and I didn't care about it, bro. I was a piece of shit, and I didn't care, bro. But that's how people can't say that's how the world teaches you to be, bro. Some people have to steal. You know what I mean? That's that's how capitalism is. It teaches you that everything for yourself. And I had came up in these school systems, and I was pro white people. I used to admire white people. I used to be like, oh, they're always so successful. They're always so great. This and that. And then when I learned the truth, I'm like, oh, that's because they're wicked, and that's the success of the wicked. And if you guys don't think you're wicked, then explain why y'all don't know this the Holy Land. If your ancestors made pilgrimages here, y'all have become wicked. Y'all are salt that have lost your savor, and it's because y'all just want to chase happiness and wealth, bro. All Americans who are in this land who have not received the truth are wicked. You know what you're doing when you're receiving the truth? You're being sealed. You're taking the seal of God. You get what I'm saying? That's why the whole country hasn't been destroyed like Spain is being destroyed right now. Even to this day, they're still that storm caused a bunch of other problems that they're still dealing with in Spain. It's because they colonized this land too. It's not because see what I'm saying? If y'all are not being sealed right now, this is the process of sealing. Then y'all are the wicked. You get what I'm saying? Y'all see? Y'all are anyone up in the church is wicked. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. If you're in a church, you're worshiping an idol. That Jesus is an idol. You're idolatrous. Idolatrous. Say I'm wrong. Someone say I'm wrong. See, but when I say like a lot of them white people are wicked, bro, I'll go to your, I'll be sitting in your churches, bro. I'll be listening to what y'all say, bro. I'll be listening to the scriptures y'all quote, bro. I'll be listening. I'm not saying you directly, but I'll be listening. My boss is white. We talk all the time about this kind of stuff. I try to invite him on my YouTube channel to defend what he believes, because he believes that he says by looking at me, he can tell I'm from Africa. I'm like, bro. I'm like, there's people that look like me in Australia that are the Aboriginal people of Australia. There's people that look like me in China that are Aboriginal groups in China. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They just assume, and that's wicked. I've been saying this for a long time. White people are not qualified to tell people who they, especially black people. You're not qualified to tell us who we are, where we're from, and you're not qualified to tell us whose land we're on. Okay? Would you let history be told from Hitler's perspective about the Jews? Let's get Hitler's relatives up here to tell us how they dealt with the Jews. Let's do that. Let's let the oppressors tell the story. You get what I'm saying? But that's what's going down, and everybody believes the story the oppressors have told because no one has had the power to stand up against America, and that's what's written in the sealed Book of Mormon and the Book of Mormon, that any nation that comes against America will be destroyed up until Christ, because this is a job that only God can handle. Just like when the Babylonians were risen up and the Egyptians were risen up and they ruled the world, it was a job that only God can handle, and that's where He gets His glory from. Because yeah, He's gonna come, and I'm telling you, this is gonna sound fantastical and it's gonna sound like a fantasy, but it's not. He's gonna come. He's gonna be in one of those spacecraft they show you in the day, and He's gonna blow the shit out the White House. And they know that. They know that. They know God's an extraterrestrial being who is an advanced body, like the sealed Book of Mormon shows you, and that He also rides around in what you would call a chariot of the gods. Read the book, The Chariot of the Gods. Y'all ever watch the Ancient Aliens? That's not a joke, bro. His theory was that the gods of the Bible and all that were all the aliens are the gods of the Bible and all that stuff. And then look, I tell y'all, the Midwest is the Holy Land, and we got all this UFO activity out there in the Holy Land. You know what I'm saying? Like, Area 51 is the place of the Ark of the Covenant. They built a military base over it because they can't move it without dying. And it was left in the desert of Zin. That's the Nevada desert. And people go, oh, that's all speculation. But no, bro, there's cryptic references to 51 in the Ark of the Covenant. If you guys understand Gematria, I don't know if you guys know how to do that. Now, people are going to call you a witch or a warlock if you use Gematria, but no. There is a mystical mathematics the Most High built the universe with, and He let the Jews in on it. That's the truth. And if you use Gematria, you can. A lot of the things I figured out is because of Gematria. Like the Book of Mormon. You know how they said they sailed from the Red Sea, and we know there's maps showing that the Red Sea is the Gulf of California, and California used to be an island, and that sea used to extend largely inland. So they say, oh, we were camping by the Red Sea, and we got on a boat, and we landed on an island of the sea. That's Hawaii. I actually used Gematria to figure it out. It led me right to Lehi, Hawaii Temple, and I started doing an investigation. And I'm like, yeah, this fits the bill of the temple that Mormon Lehi and his followers claim to build. Corvera, yeah, I know about Corvera. But yeah, I'm saying, guys, don't be upset when y'all see this shit go down. Some people have to die. Some people are not slated to get this kingdom that God set up on the earth. Okay? And when you see these storms come and take people away, just, if I don't want to offend you guys, and I don't care if I do, first of all. I don't care if I offend you. Just let that be clear. I don't pander to the Gentiles. I'm not saying everyone in this chat is a Gentile, because if I say things like that, they're saying, you're saying all people. No, I'm just saying I don't pander to the Gentiles. Pray for your family members that have died. And don't pray that they be okay. Pray that God forgives them for their sins, and that's all the judgment they will receive. Okay? Because the worst thing is being wiped off the earth in judgment and then going and facing another judgment. And this is why repentance is crucial. Y'all all have to change your mind about this land, about our people, and about your role in the world. Y'all have to change your minds. If y'all don't change your minds, y'all will be destroyed. And like I said, guys, there's plenty of evidence, because some people aren't everyday followers of me. There's plenty of evidence of this stuff on my channel. If you want to go check it out, if y'all comment, I typically do try to answer all comments and questions honestly. But I get caught up. I work a full-time job, so it gets like that. But I've been on here for like an hour and like 5 minutes, and I'm tired of talking, guys. Definitely wait for more long-form videos, which are scripted content. That's what I mainly prefer to do, scripted content. I do these lives to give my followers who like lives a little bit of but sometimes I get lost in my thoughts and translation. Other than that, everybody have a nice day. Look for another video released next weekend. Thank you.